They say life isn't measured by the breaths we take, but by the moments that take our breath away. But what happens when every breath you take comes with a risk not just to yourself, but to the person you love? Today, let's talk about 5 Feet Apart, a movie that will leave you thinking about love, life, and the importance of every single moment. 5 Feet Apart is the story of 2 teenagers, Stella Grant and Will Newman, who both have cystic fibrosis, a genetic disease that makes their lungs weak and vulnerable to infections. They live in a world where they must stay 6 feet apart from others who also have cystic fibrosis to avoid cross-infection, which could be fatal. But when they meet each other in the hospital, something extraordinary happens. They form a connection so deep and powerful that staying apart feels impossible. Stella is the kind of person who likes to be in control. She follows every rule, organizes her life around her treatments, and does everything she can to stay alive. For her, every pill, every breathing exercise, every moment spent with her medical equipment is a step toward living longer. She believes in hope and in doing whatever it takes to fight her illness. Then there's Will. He's the opposite of Stella. He's laid back, rebellious, and doesn't want to follow the rules. He feels trapped by his condition and doesn't see the point of all the treatments. Will wants to live his life on his own terms, even if it means taking risks. When Stella and Will meet, their differences immediately stand out. They argue, challenge each other, and push each other's buttons. But beneath all of that, they begin to understand one another. The movie shows us how their relationship grows. Stella helps Will see the importance of taking care of himself, while Will help Stella learn to let go of her need for control. They bring out the best in each other, but their love comes with a heartbreaking reality. They can't touch, hug, or even come close to each other. The 6 feet between them feels like an unbreakable wall, and yet, their bond grows stronger with every moment they spend together. One of the most powerful scenes in the movie is when Stella decides to take back 1 foot of space. She says, "After all CF has taken from me, I'm taking 1 foot back." This decision is her way of taking control of her life, not just her illness. It's a small act of rebellion but also a huge step toward living fully, even with all the limitations she faces. The movie is filled with moments that make you think about the value of life. Stella and Will remind us that life isn't about how much time we have, but how we spend that time. They find joy in the simplest things, a game of pool, drawing cartoons, or just being together. Even though they can't touch, they share a connection that feels more real than many relationships we see in movies. But 5 Feet Apart is also a story about sacrifice. Stella and Will both face choices that test their love. They have to decide what's more important, being together or keeping each other safe. It's a painful reminder that love isn't always about getting what you want. Sometimes, it's about putting the other person's well-being above your own desires. The movie also teaches us about boundaries. The 6-foot rule is a constant reminder of the physical limitations Stella and Will face, but it also represents the emotional barriers we all deal with. Sometimes, love means respecting those boundaries, even when it hurts. It's a lesson in selflessness, in understanding that true love doesn't demand but gives. What makes 5 Feet Apart so powerful is how real and relatable it feels. Even if you don't have cystic fibrosis, the themes of the movie, love, loss, and the desire to truly live, are universal. We all know what it feels like to want something we can't have. We all understand the pain of being separated from the people we care about. And we've all faced moments where we had to make difficult choices for the sake of someone we love. One of the most memorable quotes from the movie is when Stella says, "This whole time, I've been living for my treatments instead of doing my treatments so I can live. And I want to live." This line captures the heart of the movie. It's a wake-up call to all of us who get so caught up in routines and responsibilities that we forget to truly live. Stella reminds us that life is about more than just surviving. It's about finding meaning, joy, and connection. Will also has his moments of wisdom. Despite his rebellious nature, he shows us that it's okay to question the rules and challenge the status quo. His journey with Stella helps him realize that taking care of yourself isn't just about you, it's about the people who love you and want you to be around. The ending of 5 Feet Apart is emotional and bittersweet. Without giving too much away, it leaves you thinking about the fragility of life and the strength of love. It's a reminder that some stories don't have perfect endings, but that doesn't make them any less beautiful. The love between Stella and Will is unforgettable because it's real, raw, and filled with both joy and pain. 5 Feet Apart is more than just a romantic drama. It's a movie that challenges us to reflect on our own lives. Are we truly living, or are we just going through the motions? Are we taking the people we love for granted, or are we showing them how much they mean to us? Are we letting fear and limitations hold us back, or are we finding ways to move forward despite them? As you watch Stella and Will's journey, you can't help but feel inspired to live with more intention. Their story is a reminder that life is precious, love is powerful, and even when things feel impossible, there's always a reason to keep going. So, what do you think? Can love survive even when the world keeps you apart? And more importantly, are you living your life to the fullest? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching Real Life Lessons. Join us next time as we explore another movie that teaches us how to live, love, and grow. Until then, take care and remember, what's the lesson in your story?